Hello, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to the damn sofa. That's the damn sofa, and this is my sassy sidekick, Mr. Roscoe P. Coltrane. And my name is Paul. Now, if you are new here, that's our little intro, and if you're not new here, well, welcome back. It's been a hot minute, but we're back here today. Now, I do want to say this before we get started. This is obviously, you saw the thumbnail, you clicked it. This is a quick little update commentary on the recent Lori Daybell hearing. I've started doing these shorter updates on my other channel, like I call it the podcast channel, because we go live over there mostly, like randomly, and talk about this kind of stuff, which we already have for this. However, so many people on this channel, this particular one, follow me for the Daybell stuff. I wanted to do just a quick isolated video for my thoughts on this, because so many of you have reached out to me to be like, what'd you think? What do you think about the hair, the ring, the whole 9 yards? So I just wanted to do a quick little video over here and do that. Don't forget to check out the podcast channel if you like that vibe and quick updates, headlines, that kind of thing. And as always, that we like to say, thank you to all the Sofa Squad members who make this channel possible. Y'all, I could not make the content that I do, the amount of it, and have as much fun with it if it was not for you. So everybody who's in the comment section, engaging with the video, sharing, liking, and the Patreons and the channel members, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of Roscoe's heart, and well, even from the damn sofa. So that being said, the way this is going to work is this. I pulled up a couple little articles I want to look over, and then I pulled out a few clips to talk specifically about just some behaviors that I saw during the hearing that I find concerning and whatnot. Now, if you've been following me, then you already know I ain't no lawyer. I ain't a doctor or lawyer stuff. So I'm just making this commentary as my opinion only. This is for entertainment purposes only, that kind of a thing. So there's that. So let's go ahead and jump on in. And what we're going to start with is a quick article just for those, so we're all on the same page here as to what the hearing was even about, right? So I'm just going to put a little screenshot up here and read from that. So this is from East Idaho News. This is Nate Eaton. Y'all, if you're not following him, if this case is new to you, follow him on every platform possible. Very wonderful guy. Very awesome reporter, amazing. He has not let up on Lori at all. We'll watch a little clip of him as she's leaving the courthouse, still asking her questions. What is up? You know, I love how he has followed her around the world, you know, with this whole case, and just asking where are the children and what is going on with your mind. So anyways, this was when this came out the other day, and we're not going to read the whole article. We're just going to read a few little tidbits from it. So, Lori was in court Tuesday morning, and his attorneys argued that language in the grand jury indictment against her needs to be more clear. So her defense attorneys believe that 2 counts listed in the indictment are complicated because they each include 2 separate allegations. Count 1 and 3 that were filed on May 25th, 2021 are each labeled conspiracy to commit first-degree M and grand theft by deception. So the defense is arguing that a jury can be confused on how to rule for 2 crimes when both of them are included in 1 count. They're asking for District Judge Boyce to reconvene the grand jury to deliberate and amend the indictment so both alleged crimes are tried as their own count. Now, of course, the defense, the prosecutors, Lindsay Blake, and Rob Wood are like, no, we're not agreeing with this. That kind of a thing. So I'll link the whole article down below if you want to read the entire thing. But again, for the purposes of this video, I just wanted us to be on the same page of like, what is the basic reasoning as to why they were there. Now, leading up to this, there's this whole thing of this is going to be the first time that, Lori and Chad are back, in the courtroom together, which, we were all like, oh my God, right? And that will lead into some of my other thoughts here that we'll go over in just a minute. But of course that ended up not happening because they felt like, well, Chad's situation is, he doesn't need to be there for this anymore because his thing is resolved in this or whatever. So was it a disappointment? Kind of, because I am very curious to see how they interact. And some of her behaviors today lead me even more into wanting to see how she's going to react when she's in the same courtroom with this man. Okay, so that being said, I pulled out a few different clips, just a few from the hearing that I want to look at and talk about. So let's go ahead, and what we'll do is I'll put one clip up and then I'll interject some of my commentary in between. Okay, so the intro, they're coming in, they're sitting down, she's smiling, she's laughing, has this smirky look on her face, and then the hairstyle, which, I mean, again, to me, it's just not appropriate for the time. To me, this is like frisky, playful. It's also very childlike. It's weird, okay? It's inappropriate, not just in the levels of, oh my god, you're in court for this particular reason, right? That's number one. But number two, there's just other stuff going on there. You know, I've heard people comparing her to a Shih Tzu. I mean, I get it, right? Okay, I can see this, right? Poor little Roscoe. He says, just don't compare her to no Chihuahua. Don't worry, you don't have long hair. So, there's that. Obviously, her coming in there and giggling and smiling with the lawyers and all this. And I said this in the live chat, I think it was, and I'll go ahead and say it now before we watch any of the other clips. One of my things when I watch any case, really, and especially this one, obviously, that we're talking about it, is, and you know, and I'm not trying to sit here and say one victim sticks out to me more than the other, because there is obviously the children and adult victims both in this case. The children in this case always come to my mind, and they're always at the forefront. So whenever we're talking about this, whatever, I just have the images that we've come to know of JG and Tylee. So when I see Lori come in the room and she's smiling and she's laughing, in my mind, she is smiling and laughing at these images in my mind, right? Because it's that kind of fresh and conjured up thing in my head. So I do have to take into consideration that this is, you know, several years old at this point. This is somebody who facilitated, allegedly, these crimes. They're probably going to look at them much differently. But nonetheless, that's where it creates that kind of anger, that kind of bias, that kind of sadness about the case with that. Because in my mind, I just see those pictures, and then I see her sitting there smirking and laughing with a hairstyle like she's getting ready to go out to some teeny bopper club, you know, and I'm just like, what, you know, I can't compute that. So there's that. So let's continue watching the clips, and I'll go on with more of my personal thoughts at the end of the video.
Are you suggesting it would need to go back through another grand jury indictment, or go through some sort of a hearing similar to a preliminary hearing where a magistrate potentially or me would determine probable?
Now at times she has this very studious, like, I'm paying attention, I'm gathering information on this look to her, but it's, you know, she goes back and forth with several things. And again, no matter really what she's doing, whether it's smirking, whether it's that, whether it's whatever, none of it really feels overly authentic. I guess everything with her feels very showmanship, and maybe that's how she was in real life, and maybe it wasn't how she was earlier on in real life, and then she turned that way. I don't know, but I always get this kind of like I'm on stage vibe from her. I definitely think that she is completely aware of, you know, the situation in regards to the attention she is getting, and I think any attention is good attention for her.
Their analysis starts with a discussion of Ring versus Arizona, which is the case that found that death penalty needs to be found by a jury. That case has been...
And again, here's a clip of her, again, just smirking, kind of smiling at the lawyer. Notice she does get a little bit more serious when the word death penalty is thrown out there. It makes you wonder, is she aware of this? You know, not just aware like we know she's aware, but like, does the gravity of it sink in? Is she still behind the scenes like, I don't care, you know, I'm going home with the other 144, like that kind of a thing? So I find that very curious.
And let's start there and then move forward.
The crime of the conspiracy is the agreement and an overt act.
So those two little quick clips we just watched, one of them is, again, just her kind of smiling look. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on in there. One thing I had mentioned during my live chat, I'll mention it here again, is that, you know, it makes me wonder, do her lawyers prep her and say, you know, don't laugh, don't smirk while you're in there, remain, your face needs to be like this, kind of a situation, right? Because I would think that they would tell her that. But then I also have to wonder if she's probably like, I don't care, I'm going to do what I want to do. That second thing that she was like, over. After watching it several times, I almost think that she was trying to, what do you call it when you're like suppressing a yawn? Because it would be even worse if she was up there and they're talking about this and she was like not only laughing, but... You know what I'm saying? We would just be like, okay. Again, I think she's completely aware that the whole world is watching her. She loves that attention. But at times it's like her happiness without attention slips through the cracks. And it's not really even like she's trying to hide it that much, right? I think at times she tries to look concerned, but I don't think that's her first and foremost feeling about any of this.
Overt act in furtherance of it. It's not the completion. It's not the completion of the crime. The crime is the agreement. And the case law on that is clear. And so even if the jury is entitled to...
Now again, she sits here and she almost acts like, you know what she reminds me of is like a flirty high school girl at the lunch table, on the bleachers at a game. Almost like she's conversing with her attorney like they're just hanging out somewhere in the public, laughing and joking about something. And that's where, again, I just wondered, did her attorney have a talk with her? Surely they go on the internet, they read the press and all this, and are going to see how many people are talking about, how many headlines are out there of, she's laughing her way through these court hearings. And I would only hope that the attorney would be trying to reel that in.
Mr. Thomas, would you like to present any rebuttal argument?
Just a few points, Judge. I'm a little bit concerned.
Now again, I just threw that one last clip in there of the laughing, of the smirking, of the wanting to look over. And one thing I noticed too, we might see it in the clip coming up, is that, and I think I actually edited it to where you don't see that happen, but she's very close to one of her attorneys physically. And then when something takes place, she kind of moves back over. So again, it's almost like that. I just wonder how flirtatious, how much she's trying to turn on that this is how I come at men thing that she seems to do with them. How much that is prevalent in her dealings with her own attorneys. Now, let's watch this last clip, and then there's still another clip. I shouldn't say that. There's another clip after this one, but I've got some stuff to say about the next one that we're getting ready to watch. Okay, so let's roll the damn tape.
Conclude the hearing. All right, at this time, if everyone can remain...
Okay, so you've seen it, the ring allegedly. Now Nate got a close-up picture, and I think it was like a hair tie or whatever that she has wrapped around her finger. That is aside the point. I'm curious what y'all think. To me, and I'll say this before I'm getting all jumbled up here. Let me go over to this article real quick. Let's put this up. Now, it's by The Sun, but I felt it encapsulated so much of what I've been seeing on the internet. So let me just put this up here real quick. So, still committed, Lori Vallow Sleuths thinks she's sending secret message to husband Chad Daybell after strange details seen on her finger. Again, I don't think it is by accident and by chance that is there. I think that was there very intentionally. And is it a message to Chad? I don't know. I could 100% see it. And she might still just be like, we're riding this out. The ships are coming down to get us. All 144 of us are going. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, because the reality of what she's participated in is so horrifying and just full of depravity and all sorts of awful things that it's almost like, well, how could you ever come away from La La Land to awaken to what you have been a part of, if that makes sense. So I was very surprised with that, to see that on her finger. I wonder if the lawyer said anything. I think that personally, no matter what the lawyer says, Lori is going to do what Lori wants to do. If she wants Chad to think that she's still obligated to him, okay, great. Now, we don't know. Maybe she met a little someone up in the penitentiary. Okay. She got herself a little honey bun ring off of the damn commissary, and she is riding it out. I mean, we don't know these things, and it wouldn't shock me a bit to find out if she got a damn commissary ring and has a little wifey wife in there or something, It's just, with this whole crowd going on here, anything goes. Okay, we actually do have a couple of more clips. So just this one last one of when it's getting ready, the hearing's ending. Let's just roll tape real quick.
Hearing's concluded.
So in that one, it was interesting to me because, again, she was like, this is where she had slid her chair away from the attorney, so she was very close to him. You just kind of have to wonder, like, how much of her little spell she does. And then her outfit, for, commissary ring, commissary hair, all that kind of stuff, whatever. She's put together looking, you know what I'm saying? So I'm curious where she's getting her clothes from. And I think someone said maybe her mother and her sister Summer, they're probably providing these and whatnot. And again, that's going to be, most anybody is not going to, you know, everybody has the right to that kind of a thing or whatever. So it is what it is, right? Her sauntering out of there. In a minute, we're going to watch her actually leaving the courthouse. So actually, let's go ahead and watch that so we can just kind of round out thoughts on this. So the clip we're going to watch is from Nate Eaton, his Twitter. And again, I just love Nate Eaton. Make sure you subscribe to all his stuff. Let's watch him in action. Roll Twitter.
Anything you want to say, Lori?
Everybody back, please.
What'd you think of the hearing, Lori?
See, I just love him. He's not going to give up on. He's not going to not give up on her, but you know, he's going to keep his thumb down on her and keep asking her these questions. Notice how she just made sure that hair bobbed back and forth. You know, smiling out of there like it was the damn red carpet, right? And now, again, I mentioned this in the live chat, but I'll say it again here because I'm curious of your thoughts. One thing with Lori that I think of, and anyone who does these crimes, but especially Lori, and Chad as well, but you know, especially Lori because these were her. This is her children, her family. I'm not excluding Tammy from that, but, you know, that's a different thought with Chad and involved. You'll see where I'm going with this. You know, but I often sit here and watch her while she's laughing, she's smirking, she has her little fake, you know, honey bun ring on, you know, all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, at nighttime, when she lays her head down, when there's a moment of silence where she doesn't have to put on any kind of whatever for whoever she's around or whatever, you know, when you're alone with your thoughts, does she ever think back to a vacation that they maybe went on and a time that JJ did something or Tally did something that made her laugh or smile? Does she think back to those times and say, you know, and smile on her face to that, or, oh, I miss them, or God, what happened? Anything of that nature, you know, anything of that nature at all. Does she have those private thoughts left in here? Because that's the thing that we're all at the end of the day left with. You know, when we put our heads down, when there's nobody else around, there's no distractions, we have those thoughts that run through our mind to process. And I just wonder what it is that she processes in her mind, and if it involves them. Does she say anything to her family members about them? Like, God, I miss Tylee. God, I miss JJ. You know, anything human, right, that we could categorize as that. Again, this is pretty much what I expected to see. The ring thing was a little bit more like, really, girl? But the smirking, the laughing, all that, she's done this from the first time. Remember when she walked in there and gave Kay and Larry that awful smirk? Like she knew what she did and was just rubbing salt in the damn wound. And I feel like that's what she continues to do. And this is where I just think that she just doesn't really care, you know. And again, I'm not her, I'm not in her mind, thank the Lord. But I mean, just her presentation is that of somebody who really could care less what happens to them, their own self. Again, I really hope we get to see her and Chad in the courtroom before trial, and not for, yes, there's my selfish, curious reasoning for that, but also to get that out so we know what to expect, because my fear is it's going to be disgusting and she's going to be thirsty about it, meaning Lori. And again, for the family members to have to sit there and see that after all that has gone on and all these years have gone by and Lori's still over here thirsting after Chad. You know what I mean? I'd rather it play out first, you know what I'm saying? Because the emotions are going to run high with this when it does finally hit that time with the trial and everything. Anyways, I am dying to know y'all's opinions on all this. Drop it in the comments. I got hot. Like it's hot. Roscoe, he's over here. He wants to know too. He's curious as well. Anyways, that's it. Again, thank you to everybody who makes this squad possible. Drop hearts, sofas, doggy paws in the comments to show love for not only the victims of this case, JG, Tylee, Tammy, everyone involved, Charles, but all these other cases too, where people's voices and time here on Earth has been stolen from them way too soon. Thank you again, Roscoe. Thank you. And until we gather around the damn sofa, I'll see y'all soon.